Hi guys, Base here. Welcome to the second half of June 2013 anime pickups video. I picked up a whole host of stuff, no fewer than 11 separate things, so let's get straight into it, shall we? The first thing, or one of the first things, was Honey and Clover Box 3. I just recently, this week, finished watching the first two box sets, which covers the first season. This is technically why it says Box 3, it's actually Season 2, Honey and Clover 2. I absolutely adored the first season. It's probably one of the best anime I've ever seen. I'm still contemplating if it's worthy of a top 10 place, but it got the perfect score in my book. It's fantastic, and I'm enjoying the second season so far. Yeah, it's a fantastic series. It's Josei. It's about college students, or art college students, and their trials and tribulations with relationships and their love lives, etc. I absolutely adored it, but yeah, it's a show made for girls, technically, but that shouldn't ever put anyone off. I think it was fantastic and well worthy of any praise that should come its way, and I'm willing to give it some because I thought it was amazing. So yeah, that was box 3 from Viz Media. The rest of everything I picked up now is going to be Sentai Filmworks. So first up we got the Skull Man, which is a Sentai Filmworks release I've wanted to pick up for a very long time. It seems to be like a rather gory show, at least on the front cover anyway, because that's all blood there, and some sort of weird like supernatural show. I honestly don't know much about it other than the cover looks really cool, and it's made by Bones, which are obviously one of the best anime studios around. So yeah, Skull Man. Figured we might look inside each box today, since I'll probably never show the packaging otherwise. So next up we've got Hatsukoi Limited. This is another complete collection. Again, I probably won't keep saying it, but Sentai Filmworks. Subtitle only DVD, which was the same for Skullman. This is a series that's meant to be a comedy, romance, drama. I got it because it's JC Staff, and admittedly the front cover kind of put me off when I first saw this release and I didn't know anything about the show. But JC Staff are the same studio that made Honey and Clover and Nadami Cantabile, and just slayers. Some really great anime, and I've really come to appreciate them a lot as a studio, and I've been watching a lot of their stuff recently. Hatsukoi Limited is one of their shows, and it's a romance show, so I thought I'd give it a go. I'm not 100% sure it's going to be I know it's not going to be the same experience as a Honey and Clover or Nadami Cantabile or anything, but I'm hoping it'll have some of those elements, despite being more aimed towards boys. At least I suspect so, just from the DVD cover work and etc. But yeah, here's the front cover, and then the spine, the back, and this one, and this too. Hatsukoi Limited. Okay, next up we've got And Yet the Town Moves, which I've already watched. This series is absolutely fantastic. It's quite a almost surreal show. It's very quirky. The main character here, whose name I've forgotten, you won't be surprised to know, but I'm terrible at remembering names. But she's very much like Osaka from Azumanga Daioh. She has very similar character traits, and instantly I loved her for it. She's great. Basically, she wants to grow up to be a detective. It's really just a character trait more than anything. It's not a plot point. But she wants to grow up to be a detective, and she's very eccentric, and she works in a little town maid cafe along with a friend. It's just a very quirky, surreal, almost slice of life show, and the final episode is really interesting and very kind of out of left field, really. It was a very surprising final episode, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done, and as a whole the series is great in my opinion and well worth getting. So yeah, this is And Yet the Town Moves, which is subtitle only from Sentai Filmworks. Obviously DVD. So we got this one and this too. So that's that. Trucking on with Sentai Filmworks, we've got Aki-kan. I remember when this show was being broadcast in Japan that a lot of people were saying it's one of the worst shows ever made. It's by the studio Brainspace, which are quite a prevalent studio. They've made shows like Baccano, for example. They're quite a a well revered brand sort of thing. Like, so it was weird to hear that a show of theirs was so widely disliked. But to be honest, you should give Akikane a chance, in my opinion. I'm halfway through it. I originally watched the first 4 episodes a long while ago before Sentai Filmworks actually licensed it. I watched them fan subbed because the plot for this show is absolutely crazy. Basically, Akikan are the names of these essentially type magical girl type things that come out of soda cans when certain people drink them. They don't come out of every soda can, they're just minorly placed amongst all the other soda cans that have been produced. The idea is they're made out of different materials like aluminium, steel, and basically the idea is the companies put them out there, they get taken in by owners, and then when they become like the magical girl thing, they're meant to find their opponents and battle it out, and whoever wins will mean that all soda cans in Japan will now be made out of whatever material magical girl was the one that won. It's a really stupid show. really stupid, like nothing epic. It's completely bonkers. It's probably bad, but I kind of enjoy it quite a bit because it's Japan doing what Japan does, which is quirky and zany stuff, and it's just really good for that. The animation style for the year that this show was released is quite poor. It kind of looks like an early 2001, 2002 type animation, but it was actually made only in back in 2009. So, but yeah, let's take a look at the casing. So spine and the back. I like the disc work. I like that Sentai Filmworks actually put effort into their disc art compared to Funimation. So yeah, that's those. Next up is A Channel, which is a show that I wasn't crazy about getting hold of so soon, but I kind of wanted it because, let's be honest, I pretty much buy anything. So I wasn't going out of my way to get hold of it, but it's comparable to Lucky Star and Azumanga Daioh. It's similar sort of concept, pretty much like a moe girls at school slice of life sort of thing. And I enjoy both of those shows, so I figured I'd pick up A Channel as well, and that's pretty much all I've got to say about it, because I don't know anything else about it, other than it's got reasonably good reviews, not as good as the 2 shows I just mentioned, but it seemed to be well received, but then most moe stuff is. So anyway, whatever, so we've got the front cover, the spine, and the back. One of the good things about this is Sentai Filmworks, as they become more of a bigger company, and if they feel that something can be more profitable, they'll give it more discs. So we've got a whole disc for bonus features, which is kind of cool. I'm not quite sure what the bonus features are. Let's have a look. Oh, A Channel mini episode, so it's got all of those, and then a 3-part feature with the Japanese voice actors. So that's kind of cool. That's a really nice little extra disc there, so a proper bonus feature disc for once with an anime release. Very nice. Okay, so that's all the DVD stuff I picked up, and we're already quite a significant way through this video. I do apologise, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, so yeah. Anyway, next up is Angel Beats on Blu-ray. So everything I'll show now is Blu-ray. I have watched this. This show was very highly regarded by some close friends of mine, and I was very curious about seeing it once they'd gone on about it quite a bit. Well, not lots, but they'd mentioned it more than a few times. I was like, okay, I'll finally go and get this show, because they weren't the first, and many other people have said how good this show was. This show was completely different to what I thought it was before they started talking about it and let me in on the plot. I thought it was like a Lucky Star, but highly stylized with music. It's obviously nothing like that at all. It's a very highly stylized show, and it does have music in it, but it's not like Lucky Star, not even close. It's a completely different plot. It's about life and death and stuff, and it's got a pretty emotional ending. It's a very good show, and highly recommended. I'm not going to go into it too much because I'm blabbering. Anyway, yeah, so that was the front, the spine, the back, and the inside. So we've got disc 1 and disc 2, and that's Angel Beats. Okay, next up, Dream Eater Mary, another Sentai Filmworks Blu-ray, blah blah blah. Supernatural show. I honestly don't know much about this one at all, other than it seems to be a boy who has a dream and about, I don't know, I really don't know, but she comes out of his dream or something. It's a JC Staff show, so that was one of the reasons why I decided to get it, as well as the fact that, like I said before, I tend to want to get everything at some point, and I'm really getting into Sentai Filmworks now. Have long put it off, as I said before in the last video. So yeah, here's the front cover, the spine, the back, and disc 1. Really cool disc work on there. I like the spotted design. And disc 2. Dreamy to Merry. Okay. Next up, Kami-sama dolls. This one I wasn't, again, I've probably said this a lot now, but I really wasn't expecting to get this one anytime soon at all. But it was reasonably cheap, so I decided to pick it up sooner rather than later because it was a good price. This one I know a little bit about. It's the guy here is able to control these doll things. They're not like mecha. He doesn't actually get in them. I believe he controls them with his mind. He ends up moving to some place in Tokyo, I think, or something like that, and he finds like enemy type dolls or something, and he ends up fighting them, or something like that. I really don't know much about it other than that small bit. I tend to go into most shows cold, as you know. Anyway, yeah, so that's the front cover. I honestly don't know much else to say about this. Yeah, I think it's Brainspace that made this, or possibly, yeah, it's Brainspace. So yeah, the same company who did Archicon. Quite a difference in quality. But yeah, Kami-sama dolls. Okay, next up we've got Tears to Tiara. This one is a fantasy show, wizards, warriors, magic, you know, European setting. Just you kind of know what the show is going to be, and I have watched far too few of these shows because I really do enjoy them. This is a 2-disc set which has all 26 episodes. It's 13 episodes per Blu-ray, which was actually okay. Like, Blu-rays are pretty large, so yeah. But this was originally released as subtitle-only DVDs. It was one of Sentai Filmworks' first ever pickups, like licenses, and they eventually upgraded the release with, like I said, or as this shows, a dub and a Blu-ray, which is really cool. So this is a complete 26 episode season. And yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this. It's from the synopsis I wrote on the back, which I've read on the back, sorry. So I've pretty much not forgotten, but it would be difficult to tell you. It's got like devils and demons and all the magic and wizards and warriors and blah blah blah. Anyway, yeah, so looking forward to watching that. And the final thing is Tuwano-Kwon. Tuwano-Kwon, one of those, maybe. But yeah, this is a 6 movie release from Bones, so this is all 6 movies. They're only like 45-50 minute long, so essentially double episodes. So I'm not sure if they were released in cinema. I doubt it at that length. They might have been TV movies or on OVA type movies where they went straight to video or something. I don't know, honestly. But the concept of this show seems to reek of other Bones projects like Eureka 7, Razafon and Zammed, which I hold all 3 of those shows I just mentioned in extremely high regard. I think they're all fantastic and some of the best shows you can likely to see. So it becomes no surprise to you or me, myself, that I really wanted to see this release, which seemed to be a very similar styled show from the same company that brought those other 3 shows. So yeah, Tuwano-Kwon, I'm going to go with that maybe. Okay, so that's everything I picked up. A bunch of Sentai Filmworks Blu-rays, a bunch of Sentai Filmworks DVDs, and Honey and Clover from Viz Media, the final box set. And that's everything. I'm not sure if June will be so fruitful. I'm expecting to pick up an entire series in June, or at least half of it, so that'll be one thing I'll be picking up, and probably some more Sentai Filmworks stuff. But honestly, I don't have any plans right now other than that half show I was talking about. And I'm going to leave you because you've been here for way too long and my voice is clearly going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.